It's absolutely critical for a business owner to communicate expectations to employees. I believe that employees, almost every employee, comes to work with the intention of doing a good job. Obviously, there are going to be some exceptions, some outliers, and you deal with those cases individually based on the specifics in those situations. But most people want to do a good job. The problem lies in most people, when they go to work, they don't necessarily know what a good job looks like for the job they've been hired to do. If they want to do a good job and they don't know what a good job looks like, they're still going to try to do a good job. But the question is what they're trying to do, what the business really needs. So the way you wind up doing that is communicating those expectations. How does an owner communicate what those expectations are? There's some very tried and true methods to do it. First off is every position in a business should have a position description. It should have a description of where that position fits within the organizational chart of the business. It should have a ideal communication plan of how that person communicates issues up, and whether it's up or down the chain of command, or empowered to deal with issues, how they're empowered to deal with issues. The position description, it should tell everything that person is responsible for doing for the company. If you don't have a position description, it's kind of interesting. If you have an employee sit down and write, what are the top 10 things that I need to do for my job? And if you have the owner sit down and write, what are the top 10 things I need that employee to do in their position? And then you were to compare those two top 10 lists, there's not going to be a lot of similarities between the two. It's not intuitive. They need to know, they need to communicate. And guess what? The employees list of the top 10, some of those things on there that the employer doesn't write down, doesn't have on their list, might be more important. So it's not just a directive, it's a two-way communication. What is the most important things that the employer does, so that the employee does, so that employee has some input into that position description. It's not a static document. It can change and morph with the skills and capabilities of the person that's in there. So that's the first part. That's setting the expectations. But I started off saying most people come to work saying, I want to do a good job. I want to do a great job. I want to help this business succeed. An employee is generally invested in the success of the business. The best employees are invested heavily in the success of the business. And how does the employee know how their work is going to make the business better? Well, that's through what's called key performance indicators, KPIs. These are the leading and lagging indicators of work that an employee is supposed to do, that they can look at and say, okay, I am doing this. Now, if I'm here and I want a promotion, if I'm working at this level right here, but I want a promotion, if you've defined your KPIs, you can say, as an owner, you can say, well, if you go from this level of work to this level of work, then I can easily justify promoting you to the next level, because you're showing through your KPIs, you're showing how you're a benefit to the company, and the company can show how we appreciate that, whether it be promotions or perks or rewards, or there's all sorts of ways. And it all comes down to just that, setting the expectations and communicating with people what they need to do in order to grow themselves and be promoted within that business.